Hi, my name is Nur Najwa binti Jauhari.
Hi, my name is Hasanun Nura Adila binti Hasmawahi Hilmi.
Hi, my name is Siti Haja binti Abdul Wahab.
Hi, my name is Arifa Arina.
The COVID-19 pandemic is taking a toll on the Malaysian economy as well as many other countries around the world. The pandemic has devastating effects on the Malaysian economy from both external factors, global supply and demand shocks, and the domestic factors. Industries such as travel, leisure and hospitality, tourism, airline, retail, and many more are severely affected by the pandemic. Critically, this will also disproportionately impact smaller businesses and vulnerable groups such as the lower income individuals and workers. The world was attacked by a deadly infectious disease caused by the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2, called the coronavirus disease 2019, COVID-19. The Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, in his opening remarks at the media briefing on COVID-19 on April 10th, 2020, announced that the COVID-19 outbreak had affected 213 countries with over 1 million confirmed positive cases and 92,000 deaths. Bank Negara Malaysia, BNM, said in a recent statement that the Malaysia's economic growth will be in the negative 2.0% to the positive 0.5 range. It is also estimated that more than 951,000 people will lose their jobs. By now, it is clear that the pandemic will have intensely damaging effects on both the Malaysian macroeconomy as well as the economic welfare of the rakyat.
Next, I will explain what is the issue that give big impact towards Malaysia economy. First is balance of trade. Compared to previous years ago, Malaysia trade surplus increased to 13.2 million ringgit Malaysia, but since pandemic COVID-19, export dropped. As we can see based on the chart, export were 5.8% down from previous years ago to 620.6 million ringgit Malaysia, while trade surplus was 102.9 million ringgit Malaysia. Second is unemployment rate. During pandemic COVID-19, the unemployment rate shows the greater changes. The data shows it changed, which is from 3.3% to 4.7%. The unemployment rate increases because of the impact pandemic COVID-19. The third issue is GDP annual growth rate. Malaysia economy decreased by 17.1% in second quarter of year 2020, and it is the highest downturn. It occurs because of containment taken during COVID-19. Household consumption and fixed investment indicates decrease. Export and imports tumble that made net external contribute negatively towards the GDP. Due to income loss, private consumption fell by 11%. Fourth issue, which is the last issue, it is current account. Due to pandemic COVID-19, it gives big impact toward Malaysia economy, especially Malaysia current account. Malaysia's current account surplus fell sharply, which is from 14.34 billion ringgit Malaysia to 7.56 billion ringgit Malaysia. Just in a year, deficit of primary income narrowed from 5.86 billion to 3.95 billion ringgit Malaysia.
Hello there, welcome to Nightline. It's Monday, 7 December 2020. I'm Najwa Jamhari.
Seperti yang saya janjikan, hari ini saya akan mengumumkan pakej ransangan ekonomi prihatin rakyat atau prihatin berjumlah 250 bilion ringgit Malaysia.
On 27 March 2020, Malaysian Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin announced Prihatin Rakyat Economic Stimulus Package Prihatin worth 215 billion ringgit aimed to preserve Malaysians' welfare, support business including small and medium-sized enterprise, strengthen the economy, and support implementation of measures announced under the first economic stimulus package. To date, Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Abdul Aziz mentioned Prihatin had helped to relieve Malaysian economic pressures in the past few months. BNM has rescheduled and restructured the 6-month loan repayment moratorium to ensure that the capital and financial market returns to stability. It will also help individuals and business facing financial problems and liquidity constraints. The government has asked financial institutions to provide financial relief to borrowers by rescheduling or restructuring loans, as well as offering payment moratoriums or postponement of payment for all bank loans, except for credit card debts. The impact of COVID-19 on the world economy as a whole has been devastating. The massive spread of the virus has significantly disrupted business activities in various sectors, affecting people's income and causing economic chaos in the country. To minimize the economic impact of this pandemic, Malaysia has taken several actions to recover the economy. Warizwan Arizwan has the news. The minimum contributions to the Employment Provident Fund (EPF) was reduced from 11% to 7% effective from 1st April 2020 until 31st December. This has now been reduced to 4%, potentially increasing cash in hands of households by some 100 billion ringgit. The government will allocate 40 million ringgit to help SMEs in the agriculture sector. This fund will be used to enable SMEs to sell their products on e-commerce platforms and therefore to a large pool of consumers. Apart from this, the strategy has also focused on reducing the cost of living and improving infrastructure, specifically in rural areas. The government have taken actions in encouraging quality investments. This strategy involves the assumptions of import duty and sales tax for 3 years for the purchase of local and imported machinery and equipment for port operations starting from 1st April 2020. Besides that, Bank Negara Malaysia is offering a SME automation and digitalization facility of 300 million ringgit with an interest cost of 3.75%. So, Datuk Siti Nancy, currently the coronavirus pandemic has triggered an unprecedented crisis in tourism economy, given the immediate and immense shock to the sector. The impact of the crisis is being felt throughout the entire tourism ecosystem. So, what is the measure devised by the government to mitigate the short-term impact of the COVID-19 outbreak aimed primarily at the tourism industry? The government focusing their efforts on lessen the effect of the COVID-19 by granting support to the affected travel industry by offering discounts amounting to 15% with electricity bills for travel companies, airlines, hotels, shopping malls, and exhibition and convention center. So what are the other ways implemented by the government to overcome the impact towards tourism industry? A 6% service tax assumptions for hotels from March to August 2020, Human Resource Development Fund, revised exemptions for hotels and companies engaged in travel, reorganizing of monthly payments of income tax for the vacation industry and rental premise, landing and parking rebates by Malaysia's Airport Holding Berhad.
So, in conclusion, the economic crisis ensuing from COVID-19 has impacted Malaysia in many ways. Because of that, The Malaysian government has taken proactive measures to overcome the impact of COVID-19 to the economy by implementing recovery policy such as launching the Prihatin Economy Stimulus Package. The economic recovery is dependent on public and private consumption. The government fiscal and monetary policy which complement one another will help to revive the economy by increasing aggregate demand of public and private consumption and investment. This will help to stimulate economic growth and reduce the hike in the unemployment rate. The current COVID-19 crisis will only and eventually be conquered through vigorous public health effort, but with the Malaysian government sufficiently large and forceful fiscal response, the economic cost can be reduced for Malaysians in recovering from the impact of the pandemic. That's all. Stay safe, stay home, strictly follow the SOP. Thank you.